Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive with me today?
Let's do it.
All right, so today we're going to be looking at
Uh-huh.
what happens to your body when you quit sugar for 30 days.
Okay.
I'm super curious about this one.
Yeah.
We're using a video by Dr. Sten Ekberg.
Yeah, great video.
Yeah, and it's fascinating how much more there is to this than just weight loss.
Right.
It's like sugar is some kind of secret agent working against us.
Yeah. One of the things that I thought was really interesting about this video is that
Uh-huh.
he presented the idea that sugar acts more like a drug than a food,
Mm,
and that it can
that doesn't make
actually
sense.
trigger cravings and lead to insulin resistance.
Okay, so break that down for me. Like, what is insulin resistant?
Okay, so think of it this way.
Yeah.
Insulin is like a key
Okay.
that unlocks your cells to let in glucose for energy.
Right.
And when you eat a lot of sugar,
Uh-huh.
your body's constantly flooded with glucose.
Oh, yeah.
And so over time, your cells just become resistant to insulin.
Uh-huh.
It's like the lock is getting rusty and it's harder to turn the key.
Oh.
And so that means that your body can't use glucose efficiently anymore.
Oh, wow.
And it ends up storing it as fat instead.
So it's not just about, like, the quantity of the calories, but the quality of what we're actually eating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can really throw your whole system out of whack.
Wow. Okay, so the video breaks down all these, like, remarkable benefits that happen when you cut out sugar, beyond weight loss.
Way beyond weight loss.
And one that really stood out to me was the impact on dental health.
Oh, yeah.
I never really connected those two before.
Well, I think it's easy to kind of just think like, okay, brush your teeth and you're good.
Right.
But
But there's more to it.
there's a lot more to it. And really, sugar feeds the bacteria in your mouth. So starches break down very quickly into glucose in your mouth.
Uh-huh.
And so all those bacteria are just feasting.
Oh, no.
And that leads to cavities.
Wow.
And the glucose makes it sticky, so it just sticks to your teeth.
And that's plaque.
Yeah.
Which can lead to gum disease.
So every time I'm eating sweets, I'm basically setting myself up for a dental disaster.
Yeah, basically.
Wow. All right, so another surprising one was the impact on gout.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of gout, but I don't really know what causes it.
Well, it's basically when you have too much uric acid in your blood.
Okay.
It forms these crystals, and it builds up in your joints,
Oh, no.
and it causes all this pain and inflammation.
Ouch.
And guess what? Fructose increases uric acid production.
So it's not just bad for my waistline. It could actually lead to, like, really serious joint pain.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Another one was hormonal balance.
Right.
And how that can impact your mood and your energy and even sleep quality.
And, this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize, that sugar can really disrupt your hormones.
Yeah. Explain that.
Okay, so when you eat a lot of sugar,
Yeah.
your body releases insulin to manage all that sugar.
Right.
But remember insulin resistance.
Your cells aren't responding as well, so your body just keeps pumping out more insulin. And this can disrupt your sleep.
Really?
It can mess with your mood.
Oh, wow.
It can leave you feeling drained.
Okay, so it really is like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it's an insulin roller coaster.
And by cutting back on sugar, we're allowing our bodies to just regulate naturally.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense because
Okay.
I've definitely had those energy crashes after like a sugary snack.
Yeah.
So this hormonal stability, it can also impact brain function.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, your brain needs a steady supply of energy to function properly.
Yeah.
And when you're constantly spiking your blood sugar with all these sugary foods, it can lead to like brain fog
I've been there.
and difficulty concentrating.
Yeah.
But when you cut out sugar and your blood sugar stabilizes,
Right.
your brain gets a consistent flow of energy.
Makes sense.
And that can lead to improvements in your mood, focus, even potentially reduced anxiety and depression.
Wow. So quitting sugar could actually boost brain power.
Absolutely.
Okay, this is like a domino effect of benefits. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Another one was the impact on eye health.
Right.
That one was kind of scary.
It is pretty scary, and I think a lot of people don't realize that
Yeah.
high blood sugar can actually damage the tiny blood vessels in the back of your eye.
Yeah, I had no idea.
And that can increase your risk of vision loss.
That's terrifying.
It's called retinopathy,
Uh,
and it's one of the leading causes of blindness.
wow.
And it's basically that the high glucose levels in your blood are damaging those delicate blood vessels.
Okay, so it's not just my teeth and my joints, but my eyes too.
Yeah, it can impact all those things.
Right.
And it doesn't stop there.
That-
They can also damage those tiny blood vessels in your kidneys.
Oh, no.
And in your nerves, too.
So sugar is public enemy #1 for our tiny blood vessels.
It seems to be, yeah.
Okay, this is a lot to process.
I know, right?
So we've covered dental health, gout, hormones, brain function, vision, kidney, and nerve damage.
We have.
You're on high.
There's more.
There's more.
There's more.
Okay, lay it on me.
Okay.
What else can sugar do?
Well, it turns out that sugar can actually hinder your immune system.
Really? I always thought
Right.
vitamin C was the big one for immunity.
Well, vitamin C is important.
Yeah.
But sugar actually does the opposite. It interferes with your white blood cells, which are like the soldiers of your immune system.
Oh, wow.
They fight off all the bacteria and viruses.
Yeah.
But sugar can also increase oxidative stress in your body. And that can damage cells and weaken your immune system.
It's like sugar's kryptonite for our immune systems.
Pretty much, yeah.
No wonder I always get sick after I eat a bunch of sweets.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got dental health, gout, hormones, brain function, vision, kidneys, nerves, immunity. What else?
Well, believe it or not, there's a strong connection between sugar and acne
What?
and other inflammatory skin conditions.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. I always get breakouts after eating a bunch of sugar.
Yeah, it's definitely a common experience.
So by cutting back on sugar, I could potentially have clearer skin.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
All right, and of course, we can't forget the impact on metabolic health.
Right, that's the big one. Type 2 diabetes and fatty liver disease.
Right.
Those are scary. And sugar plays a big role in those.
It does. And those are both closely tied to insulin resistance.
Right.
Which we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And when your body can't process sugar efficiently, it can lead to a buildup of fat in your liver. And that can eventually impair your body's ability to regulate blood sugar. And increase your risk of type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And then fructose also plays a role because it can overload the liver.
Oh, wow.
And that contributes to fatty liver disease.
So cutting back on sugar could be a powerful way to prevent these serious conditions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm officially blown away by this list of benefits.
I know, it's pretty impressive, right?
It really is.
But there's actually even more.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
Okay.
It's the unexpected delights. Unexpected delights. I like that.
Yeah, it's not just about,
Yeah.
the health benefits.
Exploiting the negative.
Right. It's about these really surprising positive benefits.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, well, one of the things that Dr. Ekberg talks about is that sugar can act like a gray filter over your taste buds.
What?
And so by removing that filter,
Yeah.
you can start to actually experience food in a whole new way.
Wow.
You can appreciate the subtle sweetness of fruits and vegetables
Wow.
without that overwhelming sugary coating.
That's pretty cool. So it's like waking up our taste buds.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the other delight is conquering those cravings.
Right.
When you're no longer like constantly battling that urge for a sugar fix, you start to experience true hunger for real food.
Exactly.
And I bet that kind of satisfaction is much deeper
It is so much deeper.
than that like fleeting sugar rush.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like breaking free from that cycle of just always wanting more sugar. Okay, you've convinced me. I'm ready to give this 30-day sugar detox a try. Should we challenge our listener to join us?
I think we should.
All right, listener, are you in? We're taking our cues from Dr. Ekberg's video.
Okay.
And the rules are pretty straightforward. The first one is eliminate added sugar.
All right.
That means reading labels carefully, saying goodbye to sugary drinks, processed snacks, and desserts.
Right.
So step one, become a sugar detective.
Exactly. Yeah. Read those labels carefully.
And once you're aware of where that sugar is hiding, you can start making conscious choices to reduce your intake.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing.
Right.
You can start gradually swapping out those sugary drinks with water or tea or unsweetened coffee.
Okay.
And you can choose whole fruits over processed snacks.
Right.
And opt for meals that are made with fresh whole ingredients whenever possible.
So it's like a gradual approach.
Yeah, a gradual approach is more sustainable.
Okay.
And remember, this isn't about deprivation. It's about rediscovering the deliciousness of real food.
Yeah, I love that reframing.
Yeah.
It's about like adding in more of the good stuff.
Exactly.
Not just focusing on what you're taking away.
Right.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back to talk more about this 30-day sugar detox challenge.
Sounds good.
So we were talking about the amazing benefits of cutting out sugar.
Yeah, a lot of benefits.
Like it's a pretty long list.
Yeah.
And one thing that I wanted to touch on was this idea of sugar being like a drug.
Right.
Because I know for me, I definitely feel those cravings.
Yeah.
Like almost like an addiction. Is there any truth to that?
Well, Dr. Ekberg actually talks about that in the video.
Okay.
He explains that sugar can trigger those same reward pathways in the brain as addictive substances.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when you eat sugar, your brain releases dopamine, which is a feel-good chemical,
Right.
and that reinforces the craving for more sugar.
So it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
The more we eat, the more we want it. So how do we break free?
Well, one of the most important things is focusing on real whole foods.
Okay.
When you nourish your body with nutrient-dense foods, you're providing it with the building blocks it needs to function properly.
Okay.
And that can actually help reduce cravings.
It's like giving your body what it really needs.
Exact.
So those like quick hits of sugar that just leave you wanting more.
Right.
He also talked about managing stress.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Because when we're stressed, our bodies release cortisol.
Right.
And that can actually increase those cravings.
Dang, it makes you want those comforting foods.
No, yeah. Stress eating is definitely a real thing for me.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
And then I love the way he talked about sugar being like a gray filter over our taste buds.
Yeah.
So by cutting it out, we can rediscover the natural sweetness of food.
It's like you're waking up your taste buds for the first time.
Yeah. And experiencing food in a whole new way.
Exactly.
And then the other thing that he highlighted was the ability to conquer those cravings. Like once you're not constantly battling that urge, you can actually experience true hunger.
Yeah, true hunger for real food.
And that's got to be so much more satisfying.
It is so much more satisfying.
Okay, so we've talked about all these benefits and challenges, but where do we even start?
Well, I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed when they think about giving up sugar completely.
Yeah, it can be intimidating.
So Dr. Ekberg offers some really practical tips.
Okay.
The first step is awareness.
Okay.
Start paying attention to where sugar is hiding in your diet.
Right.
Read labels carefully.
It can be sneaky.
It can be very sneaky.
So step one, become a sugar detective.
Yeah, exactly.
And then once we know where it is, we can start making choices to reduce our intake.
Right. And it doesn't have to be all at once.
Okay.
You can start gradually swapping out those sugary drinks for water or tea or unsweetened coffee.
Yeah.
And choosing whole fruits over processed snacks.
Yeah.
And making meals with fresh whole ingredients whenever possible.
So it's about making those sustainable changes.
Yes.
Not going cold turkey.
Right.
And I love this idea that it's not about deprivation.
Yeah.
It's about rediscovering the deliciousness of real food.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about like the general approach, but what about specific guidelines for this 30-day detox?
Okay, so Dr. Ekberg recommends a few key things.
Right.
The first one is eliminating added sugar.
Okay, so no more sugary drinks, processed snacks, desserts.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Okay, and then what about those hidden sugars?
Well, high fructose corn syrup is a big one.
Yeah.
It's in so many processed foods.
It is.
And it can be even worse for your health than regular sugar.
Oh, wow.
So really read those labels carefully.
Okay.
And look for any type of added sugar.
All right.
Whether it's honey or agave nectar or anything like that.
Okay.
Just be mindful of what you're putting in your body.
Okay, step 2 is cutting out white flour.
Right.
Because it's basically a refined carb that gets digested quickly and spikes our blood sugar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So ditch the white bread and the pasta
Okay.
and the pastries.
And then what about starches?
So for starches like bread and rice and oats and corn, Dr. Ekberg recommends a more individualized approach.
Good.
He says, pay attention to how those foods affect your cravings.
So listen to our bodies.
Yeah, listen to your body.
Okay.
If you can have a small portion of brown rice with your meal and feel satisfied, you're probably fine.
Okay.
But if that small portion leaves you wanting more carbs and more sugary treats, it might be a sign that you're better off reducing or eliminating those starchy foods during the detox.
Got it.
It's all about figuring out what works for you.
Okay. I love that it's like a 30-day experiment.
Yeah.
We get to learn about our bodies
Exactly.
and how different foods affect us.
And it's a finite period of time.
Right. It's not forever.
Yeah, you can do anything for 30 days.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe we'll love it so much we'll keep going.
That would be great.
Yeah. All right. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But there's still more to explore.
There is.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back to wrap up this deep dive and leave you with some final thoughts. Okay, we're back and ready to wrap up our deep dive into sugar-free living.
It's been pretty eye-opening, hasn't it?
Yeah, like I had no idea how deeply sugar was affecting so many areas of my health.
Right, from our teeth to our brains, to our immune systems.
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think all these benefits just from cutting out one thing.
Yeah, and it's amazing how interconnected everything is.
Yeah.
Like when you think about the hormonal imbalances that sugar can cause,
right.
It can lead to sleep problems and mood swings and energy crashes.
Yeah.
But when you cut out sugar,
Uh-huh.
your body can start to regulate those hormones naturally. And that can lead to better sleep, more stable mood, and increased energy levels.
It really is like a domino effect.
It is. It's like a chain reaction of positive changes.
Yeah, and those unexpected delights that Dr. Ekberg talks about.
Oh, yeah, those are my favorite part.
Yeah, like just imagine waking up feeling refreshed and energized.
Right.
Not needing that coffee to jumpstart your day.
Yeah, or not having those sugar cravings anymore and feeling truly satisfied with real whole foods.
That would be amazing.
It would. And, you know, at the end of his video, Dr. Ekberg asks a really thought-provoking question.
Okay, what is it?
He encourages viewers to try the 30-day challenge and then ask themselves, how many of the things we talked about got better?
That's a good question.
Right, because ultimately it's not about following a set of rules. It's about discovering what works best for you and experiencing those benefits firsthand.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to pose that same question to you, listener.
Right.
What aspect of a sugar-free life are you most curious about? Is it better sleep? More stable energy?
What about those supercharged taste buds?
Ooh, yeah, what about that? Or maybe it's something deeper.
Right.
Like a sense of empowerment from taking control of your health.
Yeah, breaking free from those cravings.
Yeah, whatever your reason is.
Yeah.
We encourage you to give this 30-day challenge a try.
I agree.
You might be surprised by what you learn about yourself and your body.
Absolutely. And remember, you don't have to do this alone.
Right.
We've got a community of sugar-free explorers on our website.
Yeah, come join us.
Share your experiences, connect with others.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
We are. And who knows, maybe by the end of these 30 days, we'll all be celebrating our success.
All right, so that's it for today's deep dive.
That's it.
We hope you learned something new.
We hope you're inspired to give it a try.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive into something fascinating.
All right, see you then.
Before we go further, just want to pause to give special thanks to our sponsors Palak, Shah from RDSP Investments. Thank you for your generous support in making this podcast possible. Soundermax.com, official podcast microphone sponsor. We're grateful to Soundermax.com for the premium Levetta microphones, seamlessly connecting to Android and iPhone, requiring no extra apps, and delivering crystal clear audio up to 65 feet. Studio quality sound under $80. Use coupon code podcast for an exclusive discount. FireXBlanket.com, co-sponsor. Control small home fires quickly with the Fire Blanket, reusable solution under $30. Visit their website and use coupon code podcast for a special discount. Thank you to all our sponsors for your incredible support.